Hello, I'm Max Skill, and welcome to the latest edition of the Natural Disaster History Podcast. Today we'll be talking about volcanoes, but not just any volcanoes. We will be talking about Mount St. Helens. Just to give you guys a little bit of general information on Mount St. Helens, the modern day name was given by British Royal Navy Captain George Vancouver to honor fellow countryman Alain Fitzherbert. The volcano is located in Skamania County, Washington State, America, and it is a stratovolcano. Mount St. Helens' most famous eruption came in 1980, and many people believe that the 1980 eruption was the most destructive eruption in U.S. history, killing 57 people, destroying over 200 homes, and costing over $1.1 billion in damage. To learn more about the 1980 eruption, please welcome a survivor of the eruption, Anita Rambo. Hello, Anita, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Max. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Anita, can you just explain what happened on that day?
Well, I was camping with my family in a campground just inside the blast zone. It was about 8:30 in the morning, then all of a sudden we felt a small earthquake. At that point, we did not expect anything else, and we just continued on. And then we saw a massive landslide that traveled 5 miles north and 13.5 miles west of the volcano. And then we heard a lateral blast. A few seconds later, a vertical explosion occurred at the summit of the volcano, sending a huge cloud of ash and gases that spread more than 12 miles into the air and lasted about 9 hours. It deposited its ash into 11 U.S. states. The cloud of ash darkened the skies to make it feel like nighttime. After the first blast, I could remember seeing massive mud flows moving through the river system to the west and southwest of Mount St. Helens, destroying everything in its way. The ash was discomforting, and we could barely breathe or see. So we breathed through wet socks, except for my youngest daughter, who we wrapped in a blanket. We also turned on one of our flashlights to signal for rescue. About 4 hours after the eruption, I remember seeing a few lights way up in the sky hovering over us, and that happened to be a helicopter, and we knew we would be safe.
Wow. Can you please tell us what caused this eruption?
Mount St. Helens sits on the plate boundary between Juan de Fuca and the North American plates, and the eruption occurred because of the destructive nature of the margin between the Juan de Fuca oceanic plate and the North American continental plate. While the two plates were moving towards each other, the oceanic plate was forced under the continental plate. Rising temperatures in the plates caused the crust to melt. As a result of this, bubbles of gases were produced, forcing the magma to rise closer to the surface. The pressure was intense, causing an earthquake below Mount St. Helens that was measured 5.1 on the Richter scale. This prompted a huge bulge on the north flank of the volcano to collapse and turn into a landslide. This released the huge pressure on the mountain, releasing the stored gas and steam, causing the famous eruption. The scientists who were studying this volcano expected the eruption to occur through the mountain's peak, but because of the huge landslide, the blast shot laterally.
Wow. Thanks, Anita, for sharing your unbelievable story with us today. See you next time on Natural Disaster History Podcast.